The time by Sagicor Bank is
7. Coming up in CVM News at 7, murders down 24% for the first half of 2026 when compared to the corresponding period for last year, which recorded a 30-year low. Cabinet Minister Audrey Marks continues to defend government's position on controversial deportee deal with the U.S., but the opposition is calling into question her statements. Also in the news, auxiliary fees battle heats up tonight as Principals Association boss rejects National Parent Teachers Association's warning against exploitation of parents. And in Small Biz Big Dreams this week, a seasoned industry professional turns years of experience into a thriving enterprise. Later on in sports, Cristiano Ronaldo bows out of international football with World Cup loss to Spain. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Monday, July 6, 2026. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks for joining us. Murders are down 24% for the first half of 2026, and the government is already celebrating the continued declines, citing effective policies. The latest statistics up to July 5 also indicate a 27% drop in shootings. The call now is for law-abiding citizens to support the police in securing continued declines. More in this report. The call came from State Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Senator Abka Fitz-Henley, who is welcoming word that with over 6 months gone in 2026, murders in Jamaica are down by 24% when compared to the corresponding period for last year, which experienced a record decline. Senator Fitz-Henley is calling on law-abiding citizens to support the security forces as they seek to finish the second half of 2026 strong and make Jamaica a safer country.
No doubt, even as the 24% reduction in murders this year when compared to a similar phase last year is to be welcomed, it's a good opportunity to encourage all law-abiding Jamaicans to commit to redoubling our support for the security forces as they seek to finish the second half of the year strong. I think now would be a good time as well for criminal elements to understand that crime doesn't pay, and the administration in partnership with the security forces will not back down as we continue to pursue measures which have caused a major decline in murders over the past few years. The fact is, this is the fourth consecutive year in which we're seeing a sizable decline in murders during the first half of the year.
State Minister Fitz-Henley says the decline in murders is a testament to the hard work of the security forces and the vision of Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang. Dr. Chang is also the country's National Security Minister.
Both the Prime Minister and Dr. Chang have been intentional about doing the research and crafting the right set of policies which set the foundation for these consecutive years of decline. The positive outcomes we are experiencing now reiterate that good policies matter. A cursory look at Plan Secure Jamaica, which Dr. Holness had tabled in the Parliament a few years ago, confirmed that part of that policy was to invest heavily in public safety and national security, including bolstering border protection and the intelligence capabilities of the security forces.
The latest 24% drop in murders this year means that as at Sunday, 87 fewer people have been killed in Jamaica when compared to the similar period last year. Meanwhile, some 275 people have been murdered in Jamaica this year, compared to 362 at a similar point last year. There have been 102 fewer cases of shootings reported this year compared to last year. This is the fourth consecutive year where murders have consistently trended down during the first half of the year. 2023 saw a decline of 7.8% in murders, 19% in 2024, and 34% in 2025. Criminologist Dr. Jason Mackay has indicated that Jamaica could likely see murders dipping below the 600 mark with these continued gains in the coming year. He stresses that will require a united stance against criminals.
It has to be recognized that it is the hard work and unbelievable resilience of the persons on the ground and the persons leading the persons on the ground. So, you need to have everybody talking in one voice, and there can't be any politics in it. There can't be anybody opposing it. There can't be the human rights lobby trying to benefit from it. It has to be the one Jamaica against the gangs. I think as long as we're doing that, as long as we can keep the men on the ground motivated, then men and women on the ground motivated, then we can achieve the sub-600 murder rate.
Jamaica is ranked as the most peaceful country in the Caribbean and the third most peaceful in North and Central America. Globally, the island placed 70 out of 163 countries evaluated for the 2026 Global Peace Index.
Cabinet Minister Audrey Marks is continuing to defend the government's position on the controversial deportee deal after allegations that she proposed the agreement to the United States. The former U.S. ambassador used a recent GIS interview to reject what she described as misinformation being spread by the media. But her explanation has done little to quiet the debate, with the opposition now challenging several of the claims she made in the interview. Here's Amoy Harriet with this CVM News follow-up. For the absence of audio in the insert, but an auxiliary fee battle is heating up tonight. The country's National Parent Teachers Association is calling for fees to be less burdensome and warning against schools exploiting parents. But the National Principals Association is hitting back and rejecting the notion of parents being exploited. Amoy Harriet has more.
Just as parents are recovering from the financial marathon of last school year, the next one is already knocking. With its hand out, parents are once again faced with the burden of high enrollment fees. In 2020, the Ministry of Education placed a limit on registration fees to $5,000. Just 6 years later, schools are charging 5 times that amount. At some high schools, registration fees are over $20,000. But paying doesn't guarantee a place for students seeking to transfer. President of the National Parent Teachers Association of Jamaica, Stuart Jacobs, is calling for schools to show consideration, warning against exploitation of parents.
The NPTAG is asking that due consideration be done for the parents of Jamaica at this time when it comes to these costs. It's costly, and some of it is somewhat unnecessary. In fact, I know of schools that charge the exorbitant fee to detract the amount of requests for transfers that they're coming in. So what they purposely do, they hike it up. So, but people are still paying it because everybody wish the best for their child. Do not exploit it.
But President of the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, Aniona Jones, rejects the idea that schools are exploiting parents. She says the charges should instead be viewed as contributions to school maintenance.
The fees that are being charged, it really should not be considered to be fees, but rather an outline of contributions that we're asking stakeholders to make to have the programs within educational institutions continue to a high quality and to maintain the physical plant.
The Principals Association boss says if parents believe contributions are unreasonable, they should then raise the matter with the school board.
At the high school level, $500,000 is given each year towards maintenance, and that money is given in parts. The greatest portion is given in August to help us to get schools to restart. However, there are several other programs within schools that are quite costly that children and parents all benefit from. Now, these need to be financed. If a parent feels that 10,000 is too much, 50,000 is too much, 80,000 is too much, the board has the responsibility to request a full breakdown, to ask where the money is going, to then revise, set parameters. That provision is already in place. It doesn't need to go through all of what we're doing, just access the system that has been put in place by law to ensure that there are checks and balances.
Cabinet Minister Audrey Marks is continuing to defend the government's position on the controversial deportee deal after allegations that she proposed the agreement to the United States. The former U.S. ambassador used a recent JIS interview to reject what she described as misinformation being spread by the media. But her explanation has done little to quiet the debate, with the opposition now challenging several of the claims she made in the interview. Amoy Harriet has this CVM News follow-up.
That's a clear United States policy, not anything at all to do with me. I could not dictate to the U.S. anything about their third country nationals program.
Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister and former ambassador to the United States, Audrey Marks, in an interview with Jamaica Information Service CEO Giovanni Dennis. The controversy has been brewing for weeks, with Marks at the epicenter of it after claims she was the one who proposed the third country nationals agreement. Now, this isn't the first time the minister has addressed the issue in recent days, but in this latest interview, she offered her most detailed defense yet, seeking to dispel what she describes as misinformation surrounding the deal.
Because this was an orchestrated misinformation plan, the very same day and in the continuing days, what we have seen pushed from various bloggers, YouTubers, all kinds of persons, third country nationals MOU with the United States to take criminals into Jamaica. That is not so, and that's the first thing we must clarify and put an end to.
She explained that the proposal she put forward at the U.S. conference in March this year was for a skilled workers program, not a deportation deal.
With my team at the embassy, we came up with a proposal where we could cooperate, and the first area would be on expanding the amount of Jamaican seasonal workers. Right now the cap is about 20,000. And we'll be proposing more like 200,000. And so my thinking was, how do we get ahead of this situation and propose to the U.S. that we can help? We can help because we have an established legal system of bringing workers into the country.
But instead of ending the weeks-long debate, the minister's comments have triggered fresh criticism from the opposition. This was Opposition Senator Cleveland Tomlinson at a PNP divisional conference in Admiral Town in Kingston on Sunday.
She said that she went to that conference overseas to broker a deal to attract skilled workers to Jamaica. Comrades, that conference was a conference to deal with the issue of drug cartels. I don't know how you go to a conference to deal with national security issues and drug cartel issues and you end up proposing a deal about skilled migration and attracting skilled workers to Jamaica. It pours doubt on the accuracy of that story from Audrey Marks and the government.
Tomlinson went further.
This situation of reporting deal was not made up by the cleaner or by Jamaicans talking about it. The cleaner received a diplomatic note from the U.S. Embassy. If she feels that somebody at tell lie to her, don't talk to the cleaner or us, but talk to the U.S. Embassy, because the cleaner is reporting what they have received in the diplomatic note.
Amoy Harriet, CVM News.
We take a break. Stay with us.
Before the first patty is made, there are hands that raise it, hands that grow it, hands that move it, hands that bake it, and hands that serve it. For Jamaica, by Jamaica. Through challenges and changing seasons, they stood strong. They built with us. They believed. To every farmer, every team member, every partner, thank you.
Turn up to 25. Turn up to 25. Could I drive out fresh in a MG ride with a staycation all inclusive flex? Yeah. I touch a million cash. Yes. Smart TV, PS5, and home upgrade.
Turn up your winnings this summer with Digicel. Sign up or switch to postpaid or Digicel Plus. Buy a SIM. Top up with 5 bills or more. Buy a 7-day plan or higher. A smartphone deal or just pay your bill. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promotion period June 24 to September 5, 2026. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for terms and conditions.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is highlighting the need for improved contractor capacity as government ramps up its multi-billion-dollar Spark road rehabilitation program. He says long-term road quality will depend heavily on stronger oversight and execution standards. With the details, here's Kevin Black.
I understand the frustration of every single Jamaican about the road conditions. We will improve all the roads.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says Jamaica's road transformation under the Spark Main Roads program will depend not only on funding, but also on stronger engineering oversight and a more capable local contracting sector. The Spark program, a multi-billion-dollar national road rehabilitation initiative, is designed to overhaul sections of Jamaica's road network through large-scale, long-term upgrades rather than temporary repairs. He was speaking at the unveiling of the Canewood Spark Road project in Hope Bay, Portland recently.
And as I drove in on your main thoroughfare, your main road here, I reflected on the fact that that road would be now close to 15 years old. And it is one of those roads that we consider to be very well built. The road that we opened today is designed to last a minimum of 7 years without need for rehabilitation. But every road, regardless of how well built, will need at some point to be rehabilitated. The better built, the longer the period of time before rehabilitation, and the less will be the need for rehabilitation.
He explains, Spark uses an enterprise contractor model to improve planning, supervision, and delivery of road networks across the island.
We need good, strong, solid contractors. We need to totally dispense with the view that the contractor is a man with a little bag and he might have maybe a truck and a little backhoe there, and they can take on massive complex work like the Spark program. We need to change that. We need our contractors to move up to a level of enterprise and corporate thinking.
The Prime Minister says Jamaica's road challenges are significant, noting that fully rehabilitating the island's road network would cost trillions of dollars and take several years, even under ideal conditions.
I explained yesterday that if we were to fix every road in Jamaica. Not even to the quality of your main road there, but to this quality. It would take us between $5 and $7 trillion, meaning we would have to take the national budget for 5 years thereabout and do nothing else but fix road. Of course, that is impossible. So I want to give you the assurance, give the Jamaican people the assurance that your government is paying full attention to improving your roads.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Meanwhile, opposition spokesman on housing and sustainable living, Professor Senator Floyd Morris, has criticized the government for failing to distribute containerized houses promised to Hurricane Melissa victims, despite reports that they've already arrived in Jamaica. Carla Ramdeen has the details.
The opposition spokesman on housing and sustainable living, Professor Senator Floyd Morris, is raising concerns over what he describes as the government's failure to distribute containerized houses intended for citizens affected by Hurricane Melissa, despite repeated assurance that the units had arrived on the island. Professor Morris said it is unacceptable that 9 months after Hurricane Melissa destroyed homes of thousands of Jamaicans, it has not been disclosed that a single family has received one of the 5,000 containerized houses the government committed to purchasing.
2 months have elapsed since the government indicated that the homes are here, and we have not seen one of those houses distributed to any of the citizens who had their homes totally destroyed in the affected parishes. And we want to know, because it is a disgrace, it is scandalous that 9 months after the hurricane, these people have not gotten the homes that they were promised by the government.
Senator Morris also questioned what he described as a pattern of delays in the government's response to hurricane recovery efforts, citing the distribution of hurricane assistance funds as an example. He's calling for clarity on what is causing the delays, how beneficiaries will be selected, and whether members of parliament in affected parishes will have an opportunity to recommend persons for the housing support.
There's a clear pattern that is developing. It's the same way the government got money, over $1.2 billion in terms of funding for hurricane assistance. And we see where less than 2% of these funds were distributed to the people. We want to know what is the situation with these containerized homes. We want to know what is causing the undue delay. When will these houses be distributed to the people?
The opposition spokesman said the government owes the Jamaican people an honest explanation for the continued delays.
The government cannot be busy trying to forge deals with third country nationals and to provide accommodation for them when our people, after the most catastrophic hurricane to have hit the island, cannot get a house to live in. It is a disgrace. It is scandalous, and we want to know.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
As Jamaica continues to invest in education and workforce development, concerns are growing over the increasing number of young professionals choosing to pursue careers overseas. While migration has long been part of Jamaica's history, some experts warn that the continued departure of skilled workers could have lasting implications for the country's economy, healthcare system, education sector, and overall development. Akeem Aret now joins us with more.
Thanks, Nika. Now, every year, thousands of Jamaicans leave in search of better opportunities overseas. While many find success, their departure also raises important questions about workforce shortages, economic competitiveness, and the country's ability to retain its talent. It's estimated that approximately 1.2 million Jamaicans live abroad, with over 3 million people of Jamaican heritage living outside the island. Now, we spoke with the Jamaica Employers Federation to better understand why so many Jamaicans are looking abroad for opportunity and whether enough is being done to keep them home on Jamaican soil. Here's more in this report.
For many young Jamaicans, earning a university degree represents years of sacrifice and hard work. But for a growing number of graduates, their career aspirations extend beyond Jamaica's borders. Many seek to pursue opportunities overseas in search of higher wages and improved working conditions. While migration often provides life-changing opportunities for individuals and their families, President of the Jamaica Employers Federation, Wayne Chen, says migration in Jamaica is significant and many industries are feeling the impact.
Every single industry in Jamaica feels it in some way. And we also want to add, enterprises not yet born also feel it. And it's one of the perils of being in an island economy, because just by sheer geographic size and population size, opportunities are limited. Young people, they leave the small towns, they leave the country.
According to statistics from working immigrants, 1.2 million Jamaicans live outside the country. Of that number, 800,000 live in the United States, with almost 150,000 living in United Kingdom and Canada. Many migrants say their decision to leave is influenced not only by salary, but also by career advancement, workplace culture, and quality of life. Responding to these concerns, the Federation president says businesses should provide opportunities for young professionals to be creative.
We need to give young people the space to express themselves, to create a Jamaica for the future that is theirs. Let us not try to shoehorn them into a future of our design. We ain't going to be around. It's their future. So we need that mindset change. We need to open up the universe for young people. We need to open up Jamaica for young people. And I make that appeal to people, as I say, of my generation, to employers, to managers, to leaders. It is their future. We just have to make sure the foundation is built here, that the future that we hand over to them is something worth holding on to.
In contrast to that, in the event that Jamaica continues to lose a significant number of its highly skilled workers, there could be long-term implications for business competitiveness and the country's economic growth.
The opportunity for us is, how do we, as I say, tap into the virtual economy? How do we create the conditions here in Jamaica that make it less attractive for Jamaicans to leave? We have some hurdles, because you rightfully point out, we lose all our STEM teachers, math teachers, science teachers, we leave here by the hundreds every year. The mindset, the skills, the diligence that we need to overcome these challenges, we're going to have to find them wherever we land in the world. If we land in New York City, we land in Miami, we land in London, Toronto, it doesn't matter. But if we apply the same to Jamaica, we might not earn the same dollar value. But trust me, if you do it 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you're going to land up in a place better than, but at least as nice as you would have if you had applied the same mindset and the same diligence and the same talent.
Akeem Oret for CVM News.
Akeem, in tonight's Small Biz, Big Dreams, a seasoned industry professional turns years of experience into a thriving enterprise. Our reporter Kevin Black introduces us to Carl Wilson and his business, Super Wholesalers Chemicals and Accessories.
This time on Small Biz, Big Dreams, we visit Super Wholesalers Chemicals, whose products will leave your house fresh with a scented expression. This is Small Biz, Big Dreams. Carl Wilson is the owner of Super Wholesalers Chemicals and Accessories, a business he launched in 2017 after spending more than 2 decades in the chemicals industry.
We had started out with 2 locations, which this one here in Portmore and there was one in Maypen. However, because of the proximity to getting back from Kingston to Maypen and all of that, and other few challenges, we decided that it was to close that branch down. Being in the business from 1994, it taught me a lot about the chemicals, the usage and all of that.
Wilson says years of experience in the industry helped him build a strong customer base, with many customers continuing to trust the quality products that they had come to know over the years.
Sherlock was a staple in the Jamaican market. It was one of the standout chemical companies in Jamaica, and because of that, customers are used to the Sherlock brand, the Wonderwood brand. As you can see, we have the Wonderwood brand and the Sherlock brand. And so me bringing back that energy that these customers were used to was one of the main factors, because they know that what they're getting is quality for money. So these are deodorizers. These are what Jamaican people would call fabuloso. Excellent smell, extremely strong. It gives the house a nice, pleasant fragrance when you're wiping your floor after you're that night Sunday morning clean. This one gives the house a pleasant smell. Here we would have the body wash. It comes in 2 fragrances, Dove and Iris Spring. We also have fabric softeners, we have dishwashings, we have delicate soap. This is ideal for people with sensitive skin. They use the soft soap to wash them.
Today, Super Wholesalers Chemicals offers a wide range of cleaning products and accessories serving households, businesses, schools, banks and hotels across Jamaica. As the business continues to grow, Wilson is encouraging aspiring entrepreneurs to take risks, believe in their ideas and pursue their goals despite the challenges.
Life is a challenge, and with a challenge there is a risk. And without you take a risk, you won't know where you stand in life. So I would suggest that if you have an idea and you choose to want to expand on the idea but you're afraid, just take the challenge, take the risk. You never ever know what can happen. So I would say take the challenge, take the risk, and it might just be in your benefit. So we are at 23B Portmore Mall, right here in the mall, the only chemical store in the mall, and I would suggest if they're coming to shop early, because there are times when it's crowded. So we carry excellent products, good quality products. Here's the place to shop. We serve the Portmore environs. We also deliver to hotels in the country, some of the big hotels. We deliver to schools, we deliver to institutions, banks and all of that. So we cover a wide cross section of the country in general.
Next week, we continue to boost another business in the news.
But until then, for Small Biz, Big Dreams, I'm Kevin Black.
CVM News continues right after these.
With KFC Big League, join the league. Big league. Win a trip to Brazil, all you mean? Yeah. Big deal, meal deal, big match. Just buy KFC and win that. From now until July 20th, 2026, buy a big deal or meal deal for a chance to win a trip for 2 to Brazil. Courtesy of KFC. That's $500,000 cash from Best Dressed Chicken. 11 weekly winners score free KFC for a year. 65-inch TVs, smartphones, and more. Just WhatsApp your receipt to 876-784-7811 to enter and win big in the KFC Big League. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting Gaming and Lottery.
The greatest show on earth is here, and Fan Central goes into extra time for 39 days right throughout FIFA's Showpiece tournament. With a Pepsi in hand, of course. Catch the playbook with a tactical breakdown from our expert coaches. Come sit in our fan corner where you have your say on the day's action. Fame or shame, who were the best or worst players of the day? And have a laugh as we share some of the best reactions on social media. After the final whistle, it's extra time. Fan Central Extra Time. 8 p.m. daily with 10 p.m. shows on select days where there are 8 p.m. match kickoffs.
Fan Central Extra Time is brought to you by the Pepsi Football Nation, where fans make the rules. Football, better with Pepsi.
So glad you stayed. It's now for a follow-up story. Investigators in Trelawney are still working to determine the cause of the massive fire that destroyed several businesses along sections of King Street last week. But even as investigations continue, at least one of the affected business operators says he's now moving quickly to repair the damage and reopen his store. Amoy Harriet has this report.
Mark Cummings has been operating Rich's Bargain Store and Slots of Fun Bar and Gaming Lounge for several years. The bargain store has been in the family for decades. He lost both businesses in a massive blaze along King Street in Falmouth, Trelawney last Tuesday. Like him, neighboring business owners suffered damage believed to be in the millions.
We saved just a little of materials. I mean, the majority, 90% of it went up in flames.
His store is one of the few in the area that supplies back-to-school items to residents. He says his customers are now concerned.
For some people, Rich's Bargain Store is a tradition. I mean, they have been coming here decades for their back-to-school needs. When our mother passed 4 years ago, we decided to venture to supply a wider variety of fabrics. So right now, we have fabrics for all the schools.
Now, investigators are yet to make headway in the probe of the cause of the fire, but Mr. Cummings says he is already taking steps to reopen his business doors.
At the moment, we have identified a location next door, and we are right now, as we speak, in refurbishing that building, and come Saturday morning, we'll be up and running, we'll be open for the parents to come in and buy their uniform. The good thing is that our suppliers have been working with us. We have already secured a wide variety of fabrics, and we had a storehouse elsewhere, so we'll be with hundreds of rolls of materials, so we'll be bringing them that down to the new location come Saturday morning.
Amoy Harriet, CVM News.
More than 15 top students from Balmaji and St. Jude's primary schools are beneficiaries of scholarships and bursaries awarded by the San Myrna Foundation as they prepare to transition to high school. Speaking with our news team, Director of the San Myrna Foundation, Robert White, said the initiative continues to invest in education while supporting students' academic and sporting development. The awardees were specially selected from students who were top performers in the recently concluded primary exit profile PEP examinations. Natasha Williams reports.
So today we will disperse over $2 million to you guys. It's not going to go in your hands. The parents going to ensure that they take good care of you guys with the books and ensure that you get your school stuff to go to school.
An announcement made by San Myrna Foundation's director, Robert White, which was met by applause from both parents and students of St. Jude's and Balmaji primary schools after being gifted $2 million to assist in meeting the growing financial demands in the education sector.
Times like this is very difficult where parents have to find the money to send you guys to school, and it's very hard. So this is when the San Myrna Foundation steps in, but you have a part to play.
The terms and conditions of the scholarships require that the students stay on top of their scholastics, which will determine whether the funding continues.
We don't want to see that. We also want to see good grades. You have to maintain a B+ average to get the amount of funds for the next year to come. So the scholarship recipients, you'll be getting the funds divided by 5 for each year. So each year, parents, it's up to you to send us the report so I can each term, so we can know where the students are, if we have to call and give them some encouragement, and for anything at all.
In partnering with the foundation, the Paul King Edwards Scholarship will also aid in a number of students receiving both bursaries and scholarships under the program. With several parents being faced with increased fees